we have gone through the land configuration. For land, we have maintained number ranges, municipality key, local sub-district, properties and all. Then also rental object. For rental object, if you remember, we have three rental objects. One is pool space, second one is rental unit, and third one is rental space. So rental space is created out of pool space, and rental unit is an individual unit. It need not have to be created out of anything. It will be linked to just your building and land, and then it will be assigned to your contract. That is how it will be. Yes. So rental objects, usage type attributes are there. Then in basic settings, we have measurement types, define measurement type, total measurement type, define allowability of measurement type per object type. So these are the measurement types. Then define tenancy law. We can also define tenancy law over here. So let's say the new one is, so this is the new tenancy law which is being created. So after that, if you want to create a new measurement type over here, you can create those as well in measurement type. Contract and conditions. So the very first thing for contract is we have to define which all condition types are there. What will be the grouping? So I'll begin with contract type. So when we define contract type, we have several things which we need to assign within a contract type creation. If I double click on this, so these are the contract types which are there in system as of now. So you, while creating, you can use either of them. You double click on commercial leasing. Now, once you double click on this, you'll get to see these all fields. Okay. So what is the long text, short text of the contract? Then whether the contract is internal, external, or GL account. Then user or offerer. User or offerer is nothing but like whether it will be leased in or leased out. Okay. Then object are leased in or leased out. This is a leased in one. So that is why it will be a user. Influencer holding. If any of the influencer holding is there, then comes your screen maintenance. Which all screen you like to maintain? Like usually we maintain like standard screen sequence. Okay, this is the standard screen sequence. After this, what we assign is condition grouping. Okay, so what does condition grouping means? So after contract type, I'll explain you what is condition grouping and how exactly you can group the conditions. Okay. Then comes your partner role. Partner role is like what is the default partner role or allowed partner role. Let's say you have defined TR0602. That is nothing but landlord with vendor account. So you need to make sure that this particular partner role is assigned to the business partner, and then only that particular business partner is assigned to your contract. Okay. In planning level, if your controlling is activated, then you will be assigning planning level over here. Object group number is can be assigned. Object group number are nothing but if you want to specify any of the group number object, then you can specify it and restrict it. But usually we do not select this because we assign the object from building, and if we assign it in contract, so need not have to select it over here. Then comes your contract interval number ranges. So this is the number range wherein while creating number range, you will be assigning your number range to this particular like interval to your to this particular number range. So for this 01 is number range. So I'll take you one step back and see whether we have maintained 01 or not. Yeah. So for 01, we have maintained this line item. Okay. Now coming to condition grouping. What is condition grouping? So ideally, we have several conditions available. If I open this condition tab over here, and if I take you through this, So in defined condition type, we have these many. Around 180 conditions are available. But it is not necessary that out of 180 we'll be using all the 180 conditions to the leasing contract type, right? So what we are going to do also in 180 there are some condition types which are used for lease out scenario, and there are some other condition type which are used for internal contract. So in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to club all the condition type which we are going to specifically use for one particular contract type. That means over here, if you go and see, so for what was the contract type which we were going through? Leasing commercial, I think. Yes, commercial leasing. So this was the contract type, commercial leasing. So if I have to check commercial leasing over here, what is the commercial leasing created? This is commercial contract, customer contract. Then can you see vendor commercial contract? Vendor contract. So this is your vendor contract. So now if you see which all condition are assigned. So over here, can you see these many condition are assigned for vendor contract? Okay. So you can see credit basic rent, credit energy supply, credit security deposit, minimum rent, sales based rent, then comes your maximum rent, sales based rent credit. So these all condition are grouped under CU00, and this will be assigned to your contract type. Now, how can we check which condition grouping has been assigned to our contract type? So over here, we can check through this screen. So the contract type was CU01, and see over here, this is vendor contract. CU00. This is what it has been assigned. And simultaneously, you can also assign for lease out, commercial lease out. It will be customer contract commercial. So if we see customer contract commercial, which all condition types are assigned in this customer contract commercial. So see basic rent, basic rent, warehouse store basic rent, office flat rate, HE flat rate, SC flat rate, service. These are service charge settlement relevant condition type. If you scroll down, you'll get to see these many. So these are the condition type which are being grouped together and assigned to a contract as a condition group. Okay. Now these condition type should only appear under my contract and nothing else should come. Okay. Now coming to condition type. So whenever we define condition type, we have to specify the attribute of the condition type. Attribute is nothing whether it will be flat rate, whether it will be base fee, sales based rent, advance payment, agreed security deposit, AP sales based rent. So these all things, AP sales based rent is nothing, accounts payable sales based rent, and normal sales based rent is nothing, account receivable sales based rent. Okay. So we can specify, like based on this, we can specify and create particular contracts. Okay. Now, if you want to define a particular unit price, let's say for basic rent, I know that from each contract, I at least recover, like I at least charge 10,000. So what I can do is I can assign an amount over here so that in contract I need not have to assign a unit price. Okay. Then calculation formula. Calculation formula is nothing but your distribution rule, or like how exactly the calculation of object will happen, and on that this particular distribution will happen. Okay. Now if your contract type, sorry, condition type is based for lease out scenario, then ideally your condition will be recovering, like it will be earning a revenue for the contract, from the contract, right? So for what you can do is you can click on revenue and mark this check item box as click. Okay. So it will identify this is a revenue condition type. After defining condition, as I mentioned, you need to assign that particular condition type in the grouping condition group, so that it has assignment of your contract. Then you also have condition purpose. So these are the standard condition purpose. Apart from this, if you think that you want to define a new one, you can do that as well. That totally depends on the requirement of the business. Now, after condition type, what we do is we create flow type, because ideally flow type will be assigned to your condition type, and your flow type will have a reference flow type. So if you remember, I have shown you whichever line item, let's say if your customer account is going to get debited, then your particular flow type also should be debit, and your revenue account is going to get credited, then over here it should be credit. So now for 1000 we are using debit, because ideally, if we go ahead and see how exactly 1000 is linked to. So to check which all account symbols are assigned, we need to go through the accounting note. So your 1000, your debit is customer account, credit is GL account. That is nothing but your revenue account. So over here, if you see, flow type is assigned to your account symbol, and this is your flow type. Okay. Now we'll see this particular 1000 is assigned to which condition type. Okay. So in conditions, we go to condition type, define condition types, and it is for basic rent. So this one is assigned to basic rent. So your 1000 is assigned to basic rent. That means your condition type 10 will be used for condition basic rent revenue, because over here if you see, your debit account is your customer account and credit account is your revenue account. Okay. Now again, your condition flow type should also have reference flow type. So the purpose of having reference flow type is, if there is any of change made in your condition type, let's say in future, you have a contract of 2 years. Okay. After 1 year, you got to know that the last 2 months, which were being charged as 1000 each, was supposed to be charged at 1100. So now you have already done the posting. So what you will do is, using the update type, in condition you have from and to date. So what you will do is, you will update your condition valid from date, and you will update the amount as well as 1100. Okay. And system will itself pick up the flow type, reference flow type, and it will identify, okay, this is follow up posting due to condition increase. Okay. So that is how the system will go back, and in retrospective way it will also adjust your condition. Let's say you have a basic rent of 1000, and again vice versa, instead of increase, after 1 year you got to know that from last 2 months your condition amount has been decreased by 200 rupees. That is, from 1000 to it has decreased to 800. Now when we will update the calculation from date and unit price of the condition, system will determine that it is a decrease in your condition. So system will automatically pick up this particular reference flow type posting relation, and it will post. Okay. So these are the follow posting for increase, reduction, installment. These are the relation, how exactly you want to articulate your change in your condition types. Okay. So you can go through this. Own use is there, if a internal contract is there. So these many of relations are there. For service charge settlement, we use this one: statistical, unplanned, planned. So these will be used: statistical, initial cost, unplanned, planned. These flow type will be used for assigning to your IFRS 16 asset types. So your IFRS 16 related posting will get determined through this. Then comes your accrued expense, accrued income. acquisition due to end of subletting, if any of your contracts are on subletting, asset retirement obligation. So these all relations are there. Now, after this, condition in foreign currency. So what is condition in foreign currency? So let's say your company code currency is INR and your contract currency is USD. So you need to determine the sequence how cross currency calculation. It is not required that you have maintained the currency in your contract and system will automatically determine that, okay, this is for USD and system will calculate the USD rate. So for that you need to have make some changes. So for which all company code, what will be the standard currency? Okay. Then we'll also have the translation, specification of translation. So these are the rules based on which you will determine what will be the currency and what date it should pick up. So if you see over here, generate cash flow, due date, translation base will be due date, generate cash flow in simulation, again it will be due date. You're determining for which all transaction, for this is for cash flow, this is for valuation posting, this is for periodic posting. Periodic posting is nothing but your invoice posting, and then this one is for your credit memo posting. So based on what date it should start calculating from. So these are the translation baseline date. Okay, over here. And if you go to some other formula, other rule, so you'll get to see other rules as well. So there is not much of difference. It is just that error or responses have been changed. So once we have defined the translation date rule, then we can assign those rule over here. Okay, with the formula of like which all parameters should be assigned. And exchange rate types, you must be aware of these all things. M, S, B. B is for standard translation at bank selling rate. Then M, standard translation at average rate. P is there. G is there. I in interest rate, exchange rate type. So these are the standard, like not just in REFX, but you might have seen this in FI accounting setup as well. So over here, your mapping is done, your contract type and your currency translation rule is mapped over here. So for which all contract type it is mapped, intercompany lease out, lease in real estate, lease in other. So these are the only contract types which have been mapped with currency translation. We can also map it at usage type level. We can define the usage type over here and assign the currency translation rule. Now, after this, we have default conditions. So let's say for any of the contract types, if we want to define any of the default condition types, then we can do that as well. And over here again, we in condition grouping, we need to go there and assign that particular default condition types. So the example we were taking was of vendor contract. So if you see over here, it is not maintained because we have not maintained any of the default conditions. So we need option to select, like no, we manually can select the contract, condition type. So that is why we have not assigned it. Okay. Calculation of period and due dates. How exactly your period and due date are getting calculated uh, based on the frequency term, partner, due date correction rule. So these all are the rule which are defined. Additional data for due date and due date correction rule. So based on the partner rule, if you want to define, then you can activate this as well. So due date is nothing but it defines whether you can manually change the due date of your condition. So let's say you have a calculation from and to date of your condition, that is monthly you will be paying XYZ amount, and to pay that amount, what will be your due date? The due date can be at the start of your contract, like a condition, or at the end of your condition. So that is how your system defines the due date, and you can manually change that as well if the due date has been shifted. So over here they have not maintained anything. Definition of templates for frequency terms. So if you have any of the template available, like for frequency in condition type or contract type, we have a tab called posting parameters. In that we have frequency. So if you want to have some specific template available for that, you can determine that as well. So over here, if you remember, I have shown you the account symbol, which will be your debit, what will be your debit and credit, right? So for flow type, your debit will be customer account, and credit will be your revenue account. Simultaneously, what we can do is, if you see over here, there is a one particular account symbol assigned. So why exactly this is assigned and why not a GL account is assigned? Because this particular account symbol will be having a GL assigned to this account symbol. And the reason why we are maintaining this account symbol and not assigning any GL is, let's say we want to have multiple account determination. Based on that, we can define particular account symbol, and each account symbol can have individual different GL account. Like over here, if you see CUINT 01 and CUINT 02, so these two account symbol are maintained. So what I'll do is, now I'll quickly go to within accounting on itself. I'll go to integration of FIGL AP. I'll go to account determination and click on replace account symbol. So in this screen, you define which will be your GL. So this is your chart of account, this is your account symbol, and this is your GL account. And simultaneously for accrual and deferral, if you want to assign any of the GL, then you can assign those GL over here. Okay. So the one which we were talking about is CUINT 01. This is the account symbol, that is CUINT 01, and the GL account which is assigned to this account symbol is 630100. That is for cafeteria assessment. And we can check simultaneously for this one as well, CUINT 02 as well. So for 02, if you see, the same GL account has been assigned. And these all are other condition account symbol wherein this particular GL account have been assigned. For depreciation, it is 211,100. For interest expense, it is leasing interest expense, and for interest revenue, it is interest revenue non affiliated. Okay, so that is how you can assign your account symbol to GL account. Okay, so other than your GL assignment to your flow type, so these are the document type which you can determine based on your posting. So what should be your flow type? What should be your process? If you are aware, like we have seen that valuation contract, periodic posting, one-time valuation posting. So these are all are the process name. You can quickly go through this: reversal of reservation, chart of account settlement, one-time posting of valuation, valuation of contract input, tax distribution, and these are the procedures against your process: asset posting, depreciation posting, credit posting, debit posting, GL account posting with tax, write-off, irrecoverable date, installment, interest posting, clearing posting, transfer of tax, tax correction. So these all are the procedure names. Then you have the document type available over here. So for vendor, it will be KR. For asset posting, it will be AA. For customer invoice, it will be DR. And then if it is general entry posting, it will be AB. And if you are also maintaining accruals deferral, then it will be AD. And for depreciation, it will be AF. So these all document types are there, which will be coming from your financial accounting entries. Then your taxes are there. If you remember, I have shown this to you that you can assign multiple tax code to your tax group, and then tax group will be assigned to your tax type. So this is how we have created this particular tax type is created first, then a tax group is assigned to that tax type and validity from date, and from finance, whatever tax code we have created, we will assign this particular tax code to tax group and tax type. So this is how the linkage of your tax also happens. So within this screen, you must have seen that we create account symbol, determination value, account determination value. If you remember, if you want to create a multiple account determination value, sufficing the requirement of another GL to be used for same condition type, then we can configure that particular account determination values over here, and the same can be assigned in your contract. Then summarization of document, if you want to summarize, like rather than having multiple line item, if you want a particular summarization to be posted, then you can activate it over here. Item summarization, tag summarization, make setting for summarization flow types, summarization in case of different tax code. So these all things are there. Now tell me something, who out of you all will be sharing their screen and will create a contract? So who will volunteer today? So for creation of contract, what will be the first thing you will be doing?
First in number range assignment, I think it is already done.
Okay, so for which contract type you are going to create? So first check which all contract types are there, and for which contract type you will like to perform the testing. And for that particular contract type, if you have number range assigned or not.
So I want to like somebody coming in and taking rent to vendor contract.
Okay.
Teaching.
So lease in, right? Which one?
CU0.
CU0. Okay. So you can double click on CU0, scroll down. 01 is the interval number, right? And just check if 01 has been assigned or not. It is there, but I'm just making you go through the screen reasoning so that you have a hands on, and you'll get to know that how exactly you can go through that.
That is not there.
For 1010, it is not there. Okay, so you can maintain it then. So after this, what you are going to do is you'll go to RECN. So landlord object, we will assign it in partner and object tab. It is a fast entry screen. Okay, this is a fast entry screen. If you want to assign vendor number and all in this screen, you can do that. But let's not do it over here because I need to show some things in other tab as well. So what you can mention is, Praveen, you can mention the contract start date and end date, contract name. These all things you can mention. Yes. Now select tenancy law. Scroll down, scroll down. Below only it is there is tenancy law.
In this tenancy law, like is there like if suppose if we select Australian law or some other country law, so is there any impact on financial data
No, it is just for reporting purpose.
reporting purpose? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
So can check in OBY6 whether this company is in from India or US. So based on that, you can select your tenancy law. Countries Denmark, yeah, Denmark or Germany. Which country it is? Country region Germany, right? Above, if you see above country and region is there below company code number. Yeah, F4, do F4. D is for Germany, right? So in tenancy law, you should be selecting Germany, German tenancy law. Yes. Okay. Now go to partners.
I'm not sure, but where I have used Indian law actually, okay, in some of previous object, maybe rental object or property, somewhere I have. So is that okay, right?
So in previous screens, you have selected Indian tenancy law.
Somewhere I'm not sure which screen yesterday.
Yeah.
When
Okay. Let's do one thing. We will start assigning your object. Wherever we get error, what we can do is we can go back to your rental object and then we'll change it over there. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Now go to partners. So in partner, sure you assign at least 2 to 3 business partner over here. Okay. Landlord with vendor account, yeah, over here, and at least assign 2, 3 business partner.
So that should be created with BP or here only?
There should be a BP created. So if you click on continue, you'll get the list. So you can select any of these vendors and yeah, it is there. Reconciliation account is not there. So you can assign the reconciliation account. Do F4 and search for payables. Yeah, payables foreign. If you yeah, domestic is also, yeah, domestic is fine. Double click on that and continue. Enter, save. Click on check button. If you see check button is there. Yeah. Supplier 13 does not match interval of number range SUPL. Okay, what is this number range? SUPL. Do one thing, go back over here, try to assign some other supplier. It has got assigned, right? It got assigned, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Try to assign another one. Then we'll check whether either of them are having any errors or not. So over here, if you see, there is contract start date, cash flow from date, first contract end date, terms in month, first posting from date. Okay. So what does cash flow from date and first posting from date means? You guys are aware of contract start date and first contract end date. So first posting from date and cash flow from date are those date wherein from where your cash flow, as in you will be making your financial postings. So that is when your first posting and cash flow from date should be. Ideally, both of the dates should be same. Okay. So let's say your contract tenure. What is your contract tenure? It is for 2 years, right? So
Yes.
from 1st of Jan 2024 until 31st of Jan 2024, it is a lease free, that is rent free period. Now, what you can do is you can start your cash flow from date from 1st of February. Now go to, if you see, there is also one more tab available called notice within this terms only. Above, if you see term, yeah, and below that notice. So this notice we select when we need to terminate the contract. Okay. So as of now, we will not be selecting this, but whenever we are going to terminate a contract, we will be using this notice tab and provide termination. Like through this, we will be providing the notice period to the contract. Now in object, if you go to object, yeah. So over here, please assign your created rental object. Okay. So now you have assigned your rental object. Let's say you have for one contract you have two rental objects in which you need to assign, and first rental object will be from 1st of Jan 2024 and second will be from 1st of Jan 2025. So what you can do is over here, if you see below relationship valid from and valid to date is there, yeah, above, yeah, this one. So over here you can maintain the valid from date for first rental object, that will be from 1st of Jan until 2024. So now as you are only assigning one, Praveen need not have to maintain anything. I'm just giving you one of the scenario wherein you can assign like two or more than one rental object, and if you have a time slice available based on this valid from and valid to date, you can uh, like maintain those particular requirements. Okay. Now, in differing measure, we won't be doing anything because it is a rental unit and it's not having any measurement. So what we'll do is we'll go to posting parameters. Okay. In this screen, if you see what all things are there, number in second half of the screen, if you can see, number is there, payment method is there, payment terms is there, payment block, dunning area, dunning block, bank details, house bank, account, note to pay. So these all are there. Now if you see, after that is account determination value. So this is where we maintain the account determination value. If you remember, I mentioned that if you want the same condition type to be posted to multiple GL, then based on this account determination value, you can select that. Okay. Now, if you scroll down, okay, over here, ideally you have assigned two business partner, correct? But it is showing only one. Yes. Now, when you have selected drop down, it is appearing. And can you see the very first item is what exactly it is saying? No, on the drop down, if you click on drop down of partners, yes, the first line item, what is first line item? Condition split, right? So click on that, scroll down, add both of the condition types, not condition type, both the partners. Click on add. Uh, no, no, yeah. Can you select? Now continue. Okay. Now over here, equivalent number. Can you see equivalent number 1 is mentioned? That means it will be dividing both the amount equally. That is 50-50. But let's say now instead of 50-50, one of your business partner is having amount of 70 and second one is having amount of 30. Then how exactly you will maintain over here? So what you can do is you can do as 7 and 3. First partner will have 7, either 7 or 70, and second one will have 3. Yes. Now if you scroll up and go to conditions, no, one more thing, one more thing, go to frequency. Okay. Now in frequency, can you see the frequency is 1 in months? Okay, 1 in months. Can you see frequency 1 in month?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that means you're defining that your frequency is monthly. Okay. Now let's say if it is bi-monthly, then what will you do?
Two in a month. Here we mentioned two and in a month. So
Exactly.
it will be like
Exactly. Now if you see pro rata, if you click on pro rata, frequency start of condition, start of calendar year custom. So ideally it should be start of calendar. That means we are considering the calendar year. Whatever date we have entered in condition, by default it will come up. Okay. And now prorated, can you see prorated? Yes, click on that. Yes. So now let's say we have a contract started on 2nd of month, and we want to consider that, okay, now rather than calculating on day-wise basis, we want this particular contract to be calculated for the whole month. So over here, we can maintain whether we want to do the pro rata, how exactly only contract or rental object start pro rata. So based on this, the amount will, like, it will determine that, okay, even though the contract has started on 2nd, but it will calculate for the whole month. Okay. Now if you click on the next drop down, amount reference, cyclical amount, hourly amount, what should be the amount over here?
Yeah, monthly.
Why monthly and why not cyclical?
We are entering for a frequency of 1 month. Right?
Correct. Now let's say the frequency is of monthly, but as I have given you the reference that I have started my contract for from 2nd of month. Now, how exactly I will calculate that? Because if I have calculated it for monthly, okay, let's say I want to calculate only for 28 of those months, wherein I have started contracts on 2nd. So I want to calculate the exact days. So how will I do that? The first scenario was
daily amount. No?
not daily amount; it will be cyclical
No.
amount, because cyclical amount, as in, because your condition start and end, it will have a from and to date, right? In conditions you will be
Correct.
having from and to date, so it will, based on your from and to date, it will calculate the cyclical amount. Okay. Daily amount will come in those scenario, Devang, wherein let's say your contract is supposed to get terminated in middle of the month, somewhere around 20-21 days. Now you want to calculate that particular contract on daily basis, because one month, like that particular 20-21 days which you are having in contract, you will not be able to calculate on a monthly basis, right? You cannot do that monthly basis, because ideally you are calculating 10 days extras. Even if you do a pro rata basis, it will be a 10 days extras, right? So in that case, what you will do is you will calculate on daily basis. Okay. Also, daily basis will be also in somewhere wherein you are calculating and posting your invoices on daily basis. Okay. This will also be one of the impact.
Understand. You are saying is cyclical will calculate for rest of the month and for the remaining days of the month, and will start as a new month from next month. But in monthly,
Correct.
if we select monthly, it will go from date to date.
Date to date. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So now if you select next drop down, payment form. Yeah. One more thing, calculation method. Over here, what you are defining is, let's say in some month there are 28 days, in some month there are 30 days, in some month there are 31 days. So do you want to calculate for the exact days of the month, or you want to consider each month as 30 days? Okay. So that is also what you can define it over here. Okay. Like in February, we have only 28 days available. So if you want to calculate for exact days, then you will select exact date. But if you want to select whole, like across the year, all 12 month as your 30 days only, then you can select 30 days for every month. Okay. Now in payment form, if you see,
So it means in amount reference, if you select monthly and year calculation method, if you select exact date, then I think system will allow, right? Or not
no,
allowed.
it won't allow. It will give you, it will, there will be a calculation error. Ideally, system will allow, but calculation error will be there.
Okay.
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 System won't interrupt you while creating, but you need to understand what should be the calculation. and
Okay.
it will have a
Okay.
calculation error. Like there will be mismatch of the calculations.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Now, if you
Okay.
go to payment form, click on payment form. Yeah. So over here, if you see payment form, if you remember, I have mentioned that based in frequency, you determine when exactly you're going to pay the amount at the start of the contract, end of the contract, or mid of the contract. So this is how you define. So let's say for the month of August, if I'm like my contract has 12 months of tenure, and each month I'm supposed to pay at the start of the month. So I'll select in advance. If I am supposed to pay at the end of the month, then I'll select in arrears. Okay, in arrears. Then if it is like if I need to pay in middle of the month, that is in mid period, then I'll select mid period. Okay. So this is also something very crucial, because based on this also your interest amount get calculated. If you are paying in advance, then interest amount for that particular month will be lesser, and if you are paying in arrears, then system will calculate interest amount for that whole month as well. Okay. So this is also very crucial thing while like creating a contract. Your interest amount also gets changed based on this. Okay.
So
So
anything other than for first and 30th date is in mid period, right?
mid period, right? And if you see start and end date, if you want to shift your due date over here, yeah, so based on that you can select the due date. So these are the very important tabs. Posting frequency, these are the very important tab. Now if you go to organizational assignment, Praveen, yeah, over here you will be assigning your functional area, profit center, and business area. Okay. So if you see, you have already assigned YB90 profit center in your rental object. So copy paste it over here as well. Add a basic rent condition. Okay. So over here, can you see the condition purpose is there, which is actual rent? Condition type is there, yes. So this is the standard. If you remember last week we spoke about condition purpose, default condition purpose. So actual rent will be your default condition purpose, but let's say if you want to post it as a one time statistical, then you can change it to one time statistical, correct? So this is how it allows you. Now if you see below that, valid from and valid to date is there. Valid from and valid to date. Condition valid, yes, this one is there, and valid to date is there. So if you do not maintain any valid to date, then system will by default understand your contract end date is your valid to date. Okay. So no need of maintaining valid to date. Now Praveen, what you can do is over here you can maintain a unit price. Unit price is nothing but the monthly amount which you are going to pay. So enter something like 40 50,000, something like that. Okay. Now, if you click on yes, this is formula, fixed amount reservation, percentage share in. It should be fixed amount in most of the cases. Based on the scenario, parking spaces and all this, it will get changed. Okay. Now, if you click on simulate button, simulate above, if you see to the right, display, yeah, this one, simulate cash flow. For every month, can you see there is two line item appearing?
Yes. Like
Why exactly it is?
two BPV have assigned 70% and 30%.
Correct. So now can you
3,000
see
divided by
system
70.
system is calculating the 70% of amount and 30% of amount itself. You have
Yes.
entered 50,000 of amount, right? So 50,000, 70% is 35,000, and 30% is 15,000. So system itself is distributing the amount, not just the basic amount, also the tax amount. Can you see the tax amount is also getting distributed based on the percentage you have entered? Even the tax
Right.
amount is splitting between 70 and 30. Okay. Now, if you click on two conditions above, Yeah, this one. So this was one of the scenario which I wanted to show you. Now another scenario is, let's say we have a contract, and in that contract we have an agreement that if after every 1 year the contract will get escalated by 10%. Okay, as in there will be an increment in value. So what we'll do is we can maintain it over here itself. Can you see that blue icon is there? Grading icon is there where you added your condition type. The fourth icon. Where did you click on add condition? Yeah, fourth icon in this line. Fourth icon. Yeah, generate grading. Correct. So over here, what you determine terms in months. So how many months are there in your contract?
24.
24, right? So you will enter 24. And after how many months you want the appreciation to happen?
12 months.
1 year is 12 months, right? So you have maintained this. Now you have option whether you want to increase in percentage or you want to increase in fixed amount.
Let's say percentage. Let's say 10%.
Okay, enter it.
Rather than 12 months, I want to increase after every 6 months.
Okay, so you want to increase in every 6 months, you can do that as well. Now system has by itself created three different line item. One was entered by you and the other three were system generated. So system first line item was 50,000 which you have entered. After that you have mentioned that after every 6 months 10% will be there. So on 50,000 10% will be 55,000, right? Now on 55,000 again 10% will be there, that will be 5,500. So 60,500 has been increased, and after that again 10% of 60,500, that will be 6,500. So again 6,550 has been. So system itself has generated based on your input that you have maintained. After every 6 months you want to increase your amount by 10%, so system itself has generated this line item again. Now again if you click on simulate, and if you check the cash flow, now after 6 months the amount will get changed. So 10% of amount is also getting appreciated on business partner level as well, right?
Can we see the accounting entry from here while doing simulating?
Until we don't do any posting, how we will be able to see that? We are just creating a contract as of now.
That is okay, but in like in approval we can see like suppose if I say
Yes,
in
so
HFX,
accounting entry also we can see that. If you remember in overview tab, if you go to overview tab, Praveen, yeah, and click on drop down. So when you click on RE documents, right now there won't be any RE document because no document have been posted. When you click on this RE document, you will be able to see the accounting posting. Okay. So these are the
okay.
generated documents, but no, posting has not happened yet. So condition is there. So now you can save your contract, Devang, Praveen. First, click on check button if it is error free.
No, just I have. Suppose my contract valid from is 5th. Okay. Just I will pass the 5 day. It will impact the simulation or not?
Your fifth is
Not
month,
fifth
right?
month. Fifth is date.
Okay. Now
5th of January. If I simulate here, because we have selected cyclic. As per cyclic, it should be start from 5th to 30th, right?
correct.
Still, it
You
is
also need to
calculated
go
for
to
one.
posting parameter.
Posting parameter.
Click on frequency.
For here I have selected the cyclic.
So it will by default select the whole month. Now if you select on monthly basis,
cyclic is what you explained is the like remaining days.
cyclic, it will calculate from yes, correct, it will calculate from your calculation form date, correct.
As per
Now
that calculation, yeah, start date should be the 5th of January.
yes, so it will calculate from first of now. If you again go to posting parameters, you want to calculate it for from first of this, right?
No, I want to calculate from 5th of January.
No, from 5th.
Fifth, okay. Now if you click on that pro rata, never only sorry, below that, can you see yeah, this one, change it to monthly and see what amount is coming. Still the same, right? Now over here, in if you select exact days, and go to condition,
Still it is, yeah.
there is something wrong. Just a second, calculation form and total. Add
So is it required to refresh anything, or once you change here, automatic update in condition?
it will not automatically fixed amount. Can you select amount reference as cyclical now? Cyclical. $35,000. Why exactly it is not coming? Go back to posting parameters. Start and end it. Can you click on start and end it drop down? To the right, to the right. Yeah, this one. Move due date only at, move due dates only at start. Move due date. Can you select first one, that is move due date only at start? The due date is being shifted. Ideally, it should appear over here. I'm not sure why exactly it is not appearing. Go back to posting parameter and change the due date back to first one. Due date, yeah.
The
And
frequency is required to change 1 to something month or day.
Pranav, we have selected frequency start as start of calendar year. Maybe that needs to be changed.
Start of condition. Yes, start of condition. Now click on condition. So what is the difference over here if you have to identify? This one is for monthly basis, correct? And for first 5 days, if you see, it has posted a separate line item. Now if you go back to posting parameters, go to conditions, two conditions, yeah. And can you see first posting? Valid from and valid to date, yeah. So copy paste the valid from date to first posting. Now click on simulate. It is still appearing.
Appearing from first of Feb.
Go to posting parameters. Go to posting parameters. Frequency, 30 days of every month. Cyclical amount. Okay. Now see, instead of cyclical amount, if you can select monthly amount, what exactly the change is? And if you go to posting parameters and you change for 30 days to exact days, what does it? Initially it was 4600 something something, right? Now it has calculated for 4500.
For every month, like second to third, 35 is generated.
Mhm. Can you click on display? No, no, no. Display stand all. So your Jan month also appeared, correct?
Yeah.
Jan month is not appearing. Why your Jan month is not appearing? If someone can tell me, there is a reason. If you remember,
Because of monthly.
no. Go to term tab.
Which tab?
Term. Yeah. Go through this screen. Click on term. Go through this screen and let me know why exactly it is not appearing for Jan.
Cash flow start from second of Feb.
Exactly. So our first Jan month was cash-free period, right? We need not had to pay anything. Even though our contract start date is 1st of Jan, but the first cash flow will appear from 1st of February, right? And that is why for Jan month, no posting is appearing, like cash flow is appearing. You got it?
Okay.
So now you can save this contract.
Yeah, I can remove that.
Go to partners. So both of the partners seems to be from same role. Click below, close this one. Yeah. Remove the second partner. Click on add. Now do not land with vendor, landlord with vendor. Or what you can select is yeah, something like contact person or something like that. Partner with
Partner
vendor
with
account.
vendor.
Yes, yes. Continue. You can select any of it. Double click and select. Yeah, you need to go back to, yeah, close this one. Click on postings. Scroll down. Yeah, remove this DV one and add the new one which you have added.
Pranav, I want to understand that increase in percentage that you have set no, on condition value. That I want to understand how you did that.
Sure. So split it 70-30.
Pranav, I make it only 7-1. It's
Huh?
not equal to
No, it won't
100%.
take. No?
You give
7-1 is like the total of 7 and 1 will be 8, right? Now out of 8, 1 has gone to this one and 7 has gone to other one. So based on that, it will segregate. So it won't segregate based on your overall. So whatever number you have assigned and whatever number it is holding that particular vendor, based on that only it will segregate. Huh? Now go to condition. Can you explain now how can we do the escalation? First,
already created one. How do we change? Like we could change that also, right?
yeah, so you need to delete those, then only you will be able to change it.
Okay. The existing one we cannot change the grading.
Yeah, you can change it, but again, like you need to add the same. If you do not want to change the
Mm-hmm.
existing one, what you can do is you can add a new line item of same condition type from the cash flow from, like, calculation from date will be new amount,
Okay.
new valid from date will be there, and that is
Mm-hmm.
how you can do it. Because
Okay.
already right now we haven't posted on this condition, right?
Correct.
It is fine to delete it, but
Mm-hmm.
in real scenario, once the posting has been done to the condition type, we won't be able to delete those
It
condition
will
type,
not
right?
allow. Correct.
Yeah, so we will be able to only just adjust the amount based on the valid from and valid to date.
So in that case, we modify the unit price.
So unit price can be modified for future entries, okay?
Okay.
And if you want to, like, yeah, not just for future entry, for previous entry also, in retrospective way it will also calculate the reversal of that entries.
Mm-hmm.
So over here if you see the total months in term, that is
Mm-hmm.
total tenure of your contract in month is 24, right?
24.
So you
Right.
will enter 24.
Okay.
Now after every 6 months this particular contract should be escalated by 5%.
Okay.
So what he has done is interval in month is 6, because after every 6 month he wants, and after every 6 month he wants it to be escalated by 10%. So in
Okay.
percentage he has mentioned 10. Apart from percentage, if you want to enter amount as well, then in absolute increase you can directly mention that rather than 10%, I want that 2000 amount, 2000 rupees should be escalated every 6 months. So I, instead
Okay.
of 10%, I'll enter the amount over here.
Ah,
Now
thank you.
when he'll click on continue, system itself will generate the other three line items wherein escalation has happened. So
Okay.
the last line item is the original line item. Second last, if you see, it has escalated on 50,000.
Correct.
Then
5,000 is increased.
yeah, and the first line item is escalated on 55,000, and
Mm-hmm.
the second line item is escalated on 60,500. So that is how your
Understood.
system itself has generated these particular entries. And if you also see in the valid from and valid to date, we have not entered the valid from and valid
Correct.
to date.
One more doubt here, Pranav. Now,
Yes.
as you said, it is escalating on the previous price. Is
Mhm.
there option to select on the original price?
On original price, as in.
As in on 50,000 itself.
Mhm.
So in that case, better would be to add a new condition, or it's
So again, like after 50,000, the amount has escalated to 55,000, right?
correct. Correct.
Now you won't be able to change 50,000 or 55 because the 50,000 tenure has completed.
Correct.
If it is
Got it.
within your calculation and from date, or if your calculation from date is in future, then you can change it. But if your calculation from and to date has surpassed, then you won't be able to do that. In that case, you will add a new line item and with valid from date as a new date, and then you will be able to add it. Okay.
Understood.